I'm
Giving
locked
that
into this
John,
game.
giving that John Harbaugh effort,
Damn right.
and we are live. Like not well,
That
B's laughing because
Rashad Bateman effort.
sheesh, B's laughing because his team is up right now. Okay,
That's right.
Bryce got that early touchdown. I'm
Bryce is
laughing
back,
just
baby.
yes, I'm laughing just to keep from crying. Okay, because the Ravens lose to the lowly Browns. Look, there's a couple things. One, we put out a video. Is this a trap game? Okay, and somebody said, "Oh, what trap game? If you lose, you lose." No, this is a trap game. This is what trap game means. Okay, when you're supposed to handle a team, we're supposed to beat them soundly,
Yeah.
and we just have a letdown, right? Because it's the Browns. Everything's going wrong for them. They just lost their starting quarterback, right? They just traded away the number one wide receiver. Nick Chubb is back, but he's nowhere near 100%. This is a game you're supposed to dominate. Even in the game, JOK went out the game. And we lose. Right? And we're going to break that down. This is something that me and Brodny have been saying since the dawn of Harbaugh's time in Baltimore is that he doesn't have his team prepared week in and week out. And we just saw an example of that right now. All that happened there was low effort, right? You had the first and goal or close to a first and goal on a first drive, and you get stopped on a fourth down because you want to get cute with the play calling. That I put on top of
They need to delete that from the playbook. I don't ever want to see one of those tight ends under center ever again. You have Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Just line up and run your play.
Yeah,
makes
got
no
cute
sense.
There. What else happened? Lamar overthrew Zay Flowers on a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You had Justin Tucker miss a field goal. You had Rashad Bateman look like he got shot in the chest by the football. And who knows? I mean, that if that wasn't a touchdown, that's at the very least a very huge play, a very huge gain. And I mean, we still almost got done at the end. Zay Flowers had a shot at it at the end zone, couldn't get his hands around it. And this is what we're talking about when we say get more talent on that side of the ball. If that's Devontae Adams, probably catches the ball.
I feel a lot more. That got shot in the chest in the middle of the field. I'll tell you that.
No. And I know the sun is a thing. You can get something lost in the sun, but man, it hit you in the chest. Yeah. Right on the numbers.
And I laugh at him because it wasn't his only drop tonight or today.
It wasn't his only drop. No. Lots of drops in that game, not just by the offense, but by the defense as well. So for the people that are arguing we need help on a defense, they made a strong case, right? They made a strong case. I told somebody
Hamilton absolutely has to. He has to hold on to that ball.
Kyle Hamilton has to make that catch. Yes, Kyle Hamilton has to make that catch. But Eddie Jackson, I'm looking at you, Eddie. You had at least 3, probably 4 very catchable interceptions. And Kyle Hamilton had a drop. And I blame you, right? He learned that from you. Okay, Eddie. You see him drop the game-sealing interception, and what do you do on the next play? You don't redeem him or yourself. You let the receiver, who was it, Njoku, run right by you.
No, Tillman.
Yeah, you let Tillman run right by you for a touchdown. Shameful. The only good thing about that play was it gave the Ravens enough time to try to mount a comeback. Right? Should have done it earlier. But Eddie Jackson, I mean, I don't know if I should blame you or if I should blame the coaching staff for letting you be out there for so long.
No, they should. You shouldn't blame Eddie Jackson. He shouldn't be on the team. That was a pointless signing the moment it happened. And when we talked about that, you have already 4 or 5 safeties on the roster. Eddie Jackson, they billed it as former All-Pro. That was like 6 years ago. Like he'd been replaced in Chicago already after that happened. Like you knew he couldn't play. He should not be on the field. He shouldn't be on the team in Baltimore.
Somebody, I shot down somebody's comment on Wednesday who said trade for Buda Baker. I said get out of here with that. You made a case today, okay? You made a case. I still say go for wide receiver, but I know Buda Baker wouldn't have done that.
I'll tell you what, I think, and we kind of discussed this before, I think that the issue on the defense, when you look at all the miscommunications, you look at all the drops and everything, it's a lack of discipline. And this is something that you see happen on defense from time to time. I remember in Carolina when Luke Kuechly was there, the year after they had a great defense, they couldn't tackle anybody. Like it wasn't a personnel thing. Nobody was hurt. It was the same defense coming back. It was just a lack of concentration, a lack of discipline, and it went on for 6-7 weeks or something like that. And they had their players only meetings and all this, and they got themselves locked back in, and then they started tackling. Right.
Yeah.
I think that they are just kind of coasting on defense, you know, and it doesn't seem to be getting through to them that they're giving up a ton of points and a ton of yards every week. And I think if I had to guess, because obviously we're not in the locker room, so I am guessing, I would think that they're saying we'll flip the switch when we need to. And that's a some teams can do that, but that's a very, very, very dangerous game to play.
And irresponsible if you're the Ravens. Like we haven't done it yet. If you're the Chiefs, okay, we've seen them do it.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens, no, you have to be locked in. And Lamar's not saying that, right? Lamar flipped his helmet off, slammed his helmet on the ground after the game. He's frustrated. If Lamar is locked in and trying to win every single game, then the defense needs to show that same effort, especially when that's the side of the ball that's getting paid as a whole.
And I don't want to hear about Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins being out because Cedric Tillman's their number one receiver. What's going on, Coach?
What's up, Coach? I was hanging out on Coach's stream watching that disaster. Shout out to you. What's up? Who else? Okay, we got some people in here. Kimberly, what's going on? Says Coach Harbaugh and is in the hot seat. Yes, Kimberly. He should be in a hot seat. I don't know if he is, but we would already had him fired if it were up to us. What's going on, Yolanda? She says lack of discipline, lack of structure, lack of leadership. Oh man, facts, all facts. Alex says Marcus Williams now in Harbaugh jail. I didn't even see him out there. Was he just playing over Marcus Williams, Eddie Jackson?
I think so. Hang on one second. The Trib one says, "Hey, respect. What's his name? Tillman." No, I will not. I will not respect Cedric Tillman.
Our guy Antonio, salute. What's going on, my friend? He says, coaching aside, Kyle Hamilton had the game in his hands. If he catches the ball, the game is over. Yeah.
The thing about that play too that was wild is that he caught the ball and then, for no apparent reason, started bobbling it and just dropped it. Like he had, it seemed like maybe if you see it from a different angle, it looks different. But in real time, it looked like he caught it clean and then let go of it. Just
yeah.
I don't want to say intentionally, but just like I had the ball. Oh, I tripped. Let me let it go.
Yeah. All right, we got 80 people in here. Hit that like button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Okay, we do a live show every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, the LBHT show, where we go over all things Ravens, Panthers. B's a Panthers fan. His Panthers, are they still up?
Yeah.
They're still up. So, we're going to watch this game closely and see how Bryce performs, right? We didn't pick them to win, but we want to see the growth from Bryce. He's off to a good start. So salute to him. In a vacuum, B, you could write this game off and say, man, it's just a bad day, right? Like normally you're not going to have that many drop passes, that many drop interceptions. You're not going to be that off. Kyle Hamilton, I don't expect another game like that from him this whole season, right? But this is always John Harbaugh. This is always a John Harbaugh-led team, and this predates the Lamar Jackson era.
Yeah.
They always have these letdowns with these type of teams coming off of big wins. When we're looking like we're going to steamroll teams, he has this type of game somewhere in there. That's why I don't like an easy schedule for this team. I prefer a very tough schedule because they always have to be ready, right? They can't sleep on a team. They slept on these guys. That's why you got cute on that fourth down because you don't respect that team.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And listen, you shouldn't. Like there's a there's some like there's logic to that. They're not a respectable team, but you have to play as if they are, or they are professionals.
Mhm.
You're not playing Portland State.
Well, no, we don't have to respect the team. They
No,
have to
no,
show.
I'm
They have
saying
to
they,
respect.
they don't have to respect them either. Just go out there and do your job. Like you don't have to
Yeah,
respect terrible teams, but you do have to go out and play.
yeah,
And this is kind of this game showed a lot of the things that we've been talking about from the offseason, and even through the winning streak. Like you got behind, stop running the ball. Derrick Henry had 11 carries and he was running well. He had 11 carries for 70, 73, 75 yards, right? But you stop giving him the ball. You look, we say, hey, not 100% sure or confident in this wide receiving core. You got drops from Aguilar, a couple of terrible drops from Bateman when you needed him, right?
mm-hmm.
On that last drive, yeah, you're not getting a ton of sacks because Lamar is Lamar, but that O line's giving up pressure every play. And, especially on that last drive, they weren't even blitzing,
Right.
and these are the things that we kind of look at and like, these are clear and obvious weaknesses to go along with the horrible defense that they've been playing for the entire season. And why we say,
Yep.
man, you can't just sit back and say, yeah, we won 5 in a row, we're all good. Because the 5 wasn't even that impressive, right? So,
Right.
a couple of games were really good. The Buffalo game in particular. But a couple of those games, you still didn't look very good. You just got the wins.
Yep.
And, everybody's riding high because, Lamar is playing better than he's ever played.
Yeah.
And today you saw a little bit of old Lamar too. Like he played pretty well, but he had some bad decisions, some bad throws. Cleveland didn't catch any of them, thankfully.
Yeah.
But he threw some interceptions out there right along with Jameis.
He did.
You know,
He did. Well, definitely not his best game, but still enough to win,
mm-hmm.
right? Like when we're talking about the defense doing their job, he did enough to win. And sheesh, man, like the drop catches, man. Aguilar, Bateman, I think Zay had one earlier in the game as well. Just the missed field goals, that ridiculous play call on fourth down, like definitely shot ourselves in the foot. Darren says there's no shame in losing this to LASIK James. James. What's going on, Derek? Or Darren. I call you Derek. Felipe says Bills fans super happy that their boy Josh Allen winning MVP after Lamar L to the Browns. He ain't winning. He ain't winning. Speaking of drops, B, there was a guy that came into our chat Monday night. That was quick. I mean, as soon as we hit live, he said, "Where's the Bateman slander now? Where's the Bateman slander now?"
Mm-hmm.
First, nobody here slandered Bateman. Just because we give our honest opinion about a player, and I don't even think we said anything negative about him, right? But just because we give our honest opinion and say he's not a star wide receiver, right? We can get better at as a he's not a number one wide receiver right now. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a fact. That's not slander. But where are you now? Okay, that person I put in chat. If you're here, thanks.
Raise your hand.
Thank you for raise your hand. Just put a little wave.
Say what's up.
Just say what's up. And we got a donation from Rave Kingdom. Shout out to Rave Kingdom for the $2 donation. What did he say?
Call it Joe on Sip the Tally could be interesting.
Yeah. And Rave Kingdom is going to make sure it's interesting.
Right.
Our guy Adrian says slander Bateman all day if necessary. Yeah. And I've had conversations with Adrian about needing to have to put weapons around Lamar, and this is exactly why. This game is exactly what we're talking about when we say when the defense is playing a little tougher, when you have to make contested catches, you have to make something happen. who's the guy to make it happen on the team? Right? No, nobody to the level of Devontae Adams
No.
or Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper would have caught that pass, sun in his
Mm-hmm.
face or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need to make. I mean, I was going to say we need to make something happen, but we let all the wide receivers go. I'm not even sure who's available at this point.
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson ain't catching that.
Yes,
He'll let the defense intercept it.
Y'all got a lot of hate for a dude who's better than every receiver on your team. That's
I mean,
all right, though. It's okay. He's available. Christian Kirk, they say, is available as well. He's a solid receiver. But, I mean, you kind of sat back and let the best receivers, obviously, get moved. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
You can call around.
Yeah, good defenses expose our wide receivers. And Adrian, $5 donation salute. What did Adrian say?
There's no message, but if you did have a message that didn't make it, go ahead and put it in the chat.
And yes, Shug, I appreciate it. He says Pickens would have caught it. You're absolutely right.
If he was
running his route, yes. Pickens would have caught it and taken it to the house. Absolutely.
This man said Greg Dortch would have caught that
pass. Max says he ain't better than Zay. Chill.
Okay.
I'm talking about Deontay Johnson.
That's cool.
It's definitely debatable, right? We project. Me and B think Zay Flowers is going to be a better wide receiver. Is he today? Right now, it's debatable. I might lean Zay Flowers, but obviously you can make the case for Deontay Johnson.
Yeah. Until he does something to make it definitive, I don't really want to hear it.
I agree with Coair. Start Bo Braid at safety and elevate Dayton Wade at wide receiver. They can't do any worse.
Yes, they can.
I don't think Bo can do any worse than Eddie Jackson.
Bo probably can't do any worse, but at receiver you can absolutely do worse.
Yeah, I agree, Coyer. Put Bo Braid in. Dayton Wade. No, go get a wide receiver. Go get a wide receiver. The answer is not on the team. Okay. Who else we got in here? Man, you guys are heated. 120 people in here. Hit that like button. All right. All of my new folks, hit that subscribe button. Okay, we got some goals to reach over here. Sticks Jones says offense got exposed. Monken couldn't hide the O-line this game. The kryptonite of the offense is a defense with speed. Yeah, this is true, and that's well said. That's exactly what Monken is doing. He's trying to hide that O-line as much as possible, and he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
But the penalties, man, they have to be disciplined. When you don't have talent, you have to have discipline. And they ain't got it. The illegal formations, the false starts, the things that they can absolutely control.
7 penalties today.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's a Harbaugh staple. He does not know how to coach a disciplined team. He just doesn't.
Yeah. What's up, Jared? He says, also, we we don't put the right people in the right situation. With a defense like this, you need a tough wide receiver like Willie Snead or Anquan to make catches. I feel like Tylan Wallace could have ate. I don't think Tylan Wallace could have made those catches either. I hear what you're saying. I hear what he's saying, right? I just don't think we have that person on the team.
I just don't understand why Ravens fans think that the guys on the bench are on the bench for some reason other than they're worse than the guys in the game.
Oh, I know why.
Yeah.
And shout out to Shug for a $1 donation. I missed what Shug put in there.
I did not see it. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
But I know why they think that. Or why they think along those lines. Because they know the Ravens aren't going to get anybody else. Right? And they know that Harbaugh doesn't always put the best talent out there. He puts who he likes out there.
Yeah, but I mean, Tylan Wallace has played. You
Yeah,
know he's not that guy. Shook says White Wolf would have caught it, but since we want to talk about toughness, that dude that is him, Shohei Otani, is about to play the World Series with a dislocated shoulder. Ravens might need a dude like that on their defense.
I'll take it.
And,
I'll
and
take
it's
it.
funny because I laughed when I saw a story about Baltimore bringing back Marcus Peters, but maybe they should, not to play, but to get the attitude in the locker room, give them some edge because
Yeah,
they just don't really have it.
I don't understand when I don't understand how Jameis had been trying the whole game to turn the ball over to you, and you're still playing 7 yards off these wide receivers. Why? Why don't you make Jameis make a tough pass? Every pass that he made was an easy throw. Why are you giving him that much respect? Like, even if you think Jerry Judy, hey, Jerry Judy, you can't sleep on Jerry Judy, man, that's cool. But you're gonna have to catch that ball in a tight window. Let's see if your quarterback can make those throws all game. I'm playing a lot closer to these wide receivers. I'm not giving them those easy releases underneath.
Yeah.
No way. Even at the end when we needed the ball back, Eddie Jackson still playing off. I'm going at Eddie Jackson. I'm going at his head all day.
But look, as far as where he lines up and how he's playing, that's not up to him. That's we used to talk about what's his name, that corner who, oh my
Played
god,
here?
yeah, Baltimore corner years ago. Pretty decent
Who?
corner,
Webb? Ladarius
but
Webb?
no.
Kerry
Uh,
Williams?
Kerry Williams, who it would be 3rd and 15, and he's
Kerry
10
Williams?
yards off, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. And then it's 3rd and 1, and he's 10 yards off. He's not deciding to do that. Like you're
But that's
told.
because Kerry Williams ran like a 4.8 40.
But I'm just saying, like, you're not giving a huge cushion on a 3rd and 2 or 3 unless you're told just go out there and give him a 10-yard cushion.
Yeah. Yeah. Haitian Chris says Frank Walker is better than Eddie Jackson. Oh,
All I'm gonna say is, and I know this guy isn't the greatest out there, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he is, but y'all should have respected and loved Chuck Clark while you had him. Okay, and now you don't.
yeah. Stunt J, that's who was saying get Buda Baker. He says the cute play calls aren't consistent, the drop balls aren't consistent, but I'll tell you what is horrible secondary play. Stunt J, you made a case for Buda Baker last week. I poo-pooed that. I still kind of do. I still don't agree, but man, your case looks a lot stronger today, my friend. It looks a lot stronger. All right. Good Lord, he is terrible.
Yeah,
And if Marcus Williams is not playing for any other reason than he's hurt, we got a problem, B. I don't care if he's in a slump. This is a game that you get him on the right track. You paid him $70 million.
this is so hilarious. This comment from the Trib one. He says, "Forget Buda Baker. I want us to get Brian Branch."
Who's
And
that?
we talk about this all the time. Brian Branch is a safety who went in a very good safety who went in the second round of the draft where you took a safety in the top 15 where nobody in the league takes safeties. Because Baltimore overvalues positions that nobody values.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on, Living Legend? It says good and terrible. Yeah. We should still have Deshaun Elliott. He'd be the best safety on our team right now. Hamilton is great, but he's a glorified linebacker.
Damn.
Well, look, I can't defend him after a drop interception, but no, he's a better safety than Deshaun Elliott. Deshaun Elliott isn't
much of anything.
Yeah,
Honestly.
he's not much of anything. We should have kept Mike McDonald. That's what we should have done. If we
Yeah, but
weren't
that was
ready,
never going to happen. You had to fire Harbaugh to make that happen.
yeah, we could have. The owners can do a lot more, right? You could say the same way you did for EDC. You could be the head coach in waiting. We're going to pay you like a head coach. And that's happened before in the past. You've seen some coordinators get head coach type money.
Sure, but he has to want to stay and not, go be a head
Yeah,
coach.
right. But try, make an offer.
Hey, look, maybe they did. We don't know.
At the very
But
least,
I know one thing. I know if you had fired John Harbaugh, you could have promoted him. And
at the very least, be pay some of these other position coaches to stay put. I'm not
yeah.
letting these other teams poach everybody on my defensive side of the ball. Dallas did it. That's what Haitian Chris said. Yeah. I think the Steelers did that with Dick LeBeau all those years. I believe they did that. Let's see. Mark Tip says, Amen. Keeping PQ and Mac were the moves that needed to happen. Nah.
Mike McDonald would, I mean, at the end of the season, it was clear that the dude is a great coach, right?
Yeah.
And it was clear that you should have fired John Harbaugh and tried to keep Mike McDonald there. Do one of those things. Hey, we're going to bump you up to the front. Whatever. We'll give you you can go sit next to Ozzie. Patrick Queen, there was no reason to bring him back.
Yeah, he's not doing that great in Pittsburgh either, I don't think. Speaking of linebackers, man, I didn't see Roquan out at all today. Mm-hmm. I saw him get there late on one play and kind of like fall over. I don't know if he had a tackle or not. I didn't see him on anything significant out there.
Yeah, he's just an off-ball linebacker that you paid way too much money to.
Daniel Franklin says, I'm convinced they will never fire Harbaugh. We are cursed to have him till the end of time. I think this year he could get fired. I think if they fall too short, like they don't make it to the Super Bowl, I can see him getting fired. The team, I was going to say the team is too good, but they're not. Lamar is too good.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar and Henry look excellent out there. And the way they're getting hyped up now. Look, Lamar, he didn't have a great game, but he had a good game. He's still the front runner for MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So another MVP, and we don't make the Super Bowl. I think that's enough to get him fired this year.
It should be, but I kind of agree with him. I don't think they have the initiative to do that. I think they don't really care.
Yeah, and look, EDC has to be thrown in that bag too. Yes, Davon says we will move on from Harbs and then make him the head coach advisor. Yeah, right. We'll make him the advisor. 33 Lady Ram says Harbs self-sabotaging. I agree. No, EDC needs to go too. The whole reason why our O-line can't block is because of him. He didn't want to invest in the O-line. He invested in the defense. How's the defense looking? Marcus Williams, I need to know. I don't know. He might have been hurt. But if Marcus Williams just got benched, I got a major problem with that.
Haitian Chris says, fire Harbaugh and hire who? Hey, do me a favor, Haitian Chris. Harbaugh has been the coach for what? 15 years? Or maybe a little bit less than that. Yeah. Just go back into your memory and go ahead and list off for me any good coaches who have been hired in that time frame. Okay. There's always coaching talent available. One, it's not our job to go ahead and pick the next coach. Two, just because you don't know for sure who the next coach is going to be doesn't mean that somebody who's doing a bad job gets to keep his job. And three, we've been talking for the last several minutes about hiring Mike McDonald last year, the defensive coordinator who had you the number one defense in the league.
I still like Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, he ain't never coming back to the league, though.
I know, but if you're asking who could they hire, that's somebody they can hire. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that the Ravens can do that we know they aren't going to do. That's not going to stop me from saying this is an option. Byron Leftwich, I still like. These are guys that aren't getting chances for other reasons, right? But I think those are great candidates. Ben Johnson is still out there.
Yeah, I don't like Ben Johnson, but I know he's very well thought of.
Yeah. There are options. And Harbaugh, who doesn't specialize in anything, he's not even doing those little things anymore. Like, it's okay if he's not an offensive coach or a defensive coach. I mean, that's fine. But he's not this leader of men that they like to say.
Asian Chris says, I would have been on board with Mike McDonald, but that opportunity is long gone. Yeah, but the point is that there are always coaches available, Chris.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to fire John Harbaugh, turn around, and have there be no applicants, have there be no qualified coaches out there to possibly take over.
Well,
That's not going to happen.
Okay, let me ask this question. If Harbaugh decided at the end of the year, I'm going to retire. He said at the end of the season, I'm going to retire. Do you guys think that's the end of our Super Bowl run? Right? Or, our run to try and make a Super Bowl? Do you think, hey, well, Harbaugh's gone and, that's it. There's nobody that can replace him. No way we're going to win a Super Bowl. That's the question.
Right.
Or would you say, we'll get somebody. I trust EDC. I trust his organization. We'll get somebody. We have a strong team here. We just need a coach to not come in here and mess it up. Right? If he were retired, you would have faith in this team to do the right thing. If you fire him, it's, well, what else are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Get somebody better. He's not good enough.
Yeah. Well, you could have hired Jim Harbaugh this offseason. He's a better coach than John. Last offseason, you could have hired DeMeco Ryans. I mean, he's a better coach than John Harbaugh.
Jeremy Holthouse says Marcus Williams wasn't hurt. Harbaugh said in a post-game press conference he was benched due to personal decisions. What? And that they are keeping it all in-house. You already know what that means. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Personal decisions. Personal decisions, it better be something on Marcus Williams and like, hey, coach, I can't go. I have personal reasons. I have personal issues. I can't go. If it's, hey, I have some disagreement with him or he didn't practice well or whatever, you lost us this game. Now, okay, Marcus Williams hasn't been playing great. But you can't tell me he couldn't have done better than Eddie Jackson. Of course he would have done better than Eddie Jackson. This is the game that you needed Marcus Williams to be out there to get right. This is the game. If it's an attitude issue, right, then why didn't you, what's going on? Why didn't you properly vet these guys before you paid them all this money? You traded for him. You didn't know what type of player he is. If he's been fine this whole time and he had one outburst, well, what's the issue? Right? Get to the bottom of it. Not everything needs to be punished. If at the very least, okay, you find them or whatever. If that's the problem, we don't know what it is. It could be all those things. It could be none of those things. You never know with John Harbaugh. But this is the problem I have with John Harbaugh. He always thinks he's too smart for his own good.
Mm-hmm. Jamal Brown says, why are we talking about coaches? And Eddie Jackson and Hamilton are the reason we lost. Why is Eddie Jackson on the team, Jamal?
Why was Eddie Jackson starting?
Why was he on the field? Who put him out there? Who decided that when you had the number one run offense and you were playing one of the worst run defenses in the league in the conference championship game to not run the ball at all? Who was that? Was that Lamar? Or was that the coaches?
Yeah.
Like, it's more than one game. Nobody's saying fire John Harbaugh because he lost one game in a season where you're 5-3.
Yeah. Sylvester said Marcus Williams is trash. He got benched. Okay. Put him back in. Right? Hey, Marcus Williams, you're not playing well. Oh, Eddie Jackson, he out there giving up touchdowns. Hey, Marcus Williams, get back in there.
Yeah.
Eddie Jackson dropped about 4 interceptions, and I think he gave up at least 2 touchdowns. One was a missed tackle. He had his arms around the guy and just let him go. I think he gave up 3 touchdowns. Yeah, Marcus, forget what I said. You get in there. It should be personal that 77 can't pass or run block, and he's still starting. You talking about Falele?
I still believe in you, Daniel. Don't worry.
There was one play
Okay.
where he let the guy go right through and hit Derrick Henry.
Hey man, Derek's supposed to be special.
Oh yeah,
Make him miss.
guys, coaches have to. I mean, they have to get the smoke. They had to get the smoke because they should have absolutely dominated this team. Yes, players didn't play well. When it's one player or two players, then it's the player. They're having an off day. But it's the whole team playing bad? That's coaching. That's your coaches not getting your players ready to play, not motivating them enough to wake up and go play. Halftime, okay, you went into halftime and they were up 10-6 and you had a bad first half. That's when you go in the locker room and say, y'all better wake up. We're not going to have a letdown after having a big Monday night game. We're not going to do that. Y'all are going to read your plays, know your assignments, execute, catch the ball, all those things. We're wake up. Not go out there and play even worse in the second half.
Hey, or maybe it's not the coaches. And you all need to get on board with firing EDC because how did you draft and sign so many people who can't catch?
There you go.
And can't cover.
There you go. Why are we always talking about this around this time too, trade deadline, what we need to have? Why aren't we good? Why aren't we saying, we got everything we need? But now we're having a divide amongst Ravens flock on wide receiver or edge rusher or safety. I think people forgot about edge rusher now. We're just worried about safety.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Raiders said they're not going to trade Max Crosby even after the trade deadline.
All right, you got over 150 people in here. Hit that like button. If anybody is new in here, hit the subscribe button. Turn on your notifications as well. Okay, we're putting out more video clips. We're going to record a couple things here and there. We're going to put those out. But we also do the live show every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And we follow it up with the Overtime Show, which you can find on our Patreon at patreon.com/LBHTShow. All right. And if you're wondering how to do, what's up, Jeremy? If you're wondering how to do a super chat, like you see some people do in here, we do it a little differently over here. Okay. The QR code right below B, that is to our Cash App. That's $LBHT Show. Also, the pin link that you see in the chat box will take you to our Streamlabs page. Both ways, leave your donation, leave your comment. You get a nice animation on the screen, and we will read your comment live on air.
Yes. Jeremy says Harbaugh can't be blamed that Bateman couldn't catch the ball with the sun in his face. Nobody blamed Harbaugh for that. There's plenty of other things to blame John Harbaugh for. Nobody blamed him that Bateman can't catch. We said that Bateman can't catch.
Yeah. What about the trick play on 4th and 1? Can we blame him for that? What about the 7 penalties? What about all of the drops that we had today?
What about the fact that your defenders are running around before the snap, not knowing where they're supposed to line up?
Yeah.
What about the fact that Eddie Jackson was flat-footed until Cedric Tillman was several yards behind him, apparently not knowing that was his responsibility?
This is after he already gave up a touchdown or two. I mean, there's a lot. Okay, don't worry, you're off the hook for Bateman's drop.
Both of
you're
them.
off the hook for that. Yeah, both of them. I blame EDC for Bateman. You also got to blame him for the offensive line. You also got to blame him for the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say EDC is cooking 1 minute and let him off the hook for that defense. Everybody that's on that defense, that's him, other than Humphrey.
You drafted edge rushers in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and everybody's like, yo, we need to trade for an edge rusher. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Yeah. Avram Diallo, what's going on? Says Rashad Bateman had three good games, and Ravens fans acted like we didn't need a wide receiver and that we had Megatron and Jerry Rice on the team. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, hey, is that guy here the guy that said, "Where's the Rashad Bateman slander now?" First of all, we didn't slander Rashad Bateman. Let's just get that. Let's get that out the way. What's up, Killer? I see you. But if you're here, just raise your hand. We're not gonna cook you. We're gonna laugh a little bit, but not too much. Okay, you're passionate about your team. I understand, but the point I was making when you said that comment was you can't, calm down. Like, enjoy the moment. He had a good game. It's cool. You don't have to go around and call everybody out that you think disrespected. I'm assuming one of your favorite players, because why would you go that hard for somebody that you didn't really care about? But you know, keep it all in context. He had a good game,
And
and
yeah, and I'm going to reiterate what I said at the time. The fact that he hit 100 yards and you felt the need to go on this trash talking tour tells you everything you need to know about Rashad Bateman.
uh,
100-yard game should not be that kind of event for a wide receiver.
KK said Rashad set us up, bro. Never trust a man who paints his nails. Does Rashad Bateman paint his nails?
I think
Is
he
he
does, but that's not
is he
anything.
Caleb Williams?
That's not anything because you can trust Caleb Williams.
Oh, yeah, you can now. Mark says the only good thing that happened for the Ravens today is that the Eagles did us a favor and mopped Cincy. If we don't tighten up, they're going to mop us too. Man, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. They did mop up Cincy.
They were losing for a
Joshua
good
said
portion of that game too.
2 different times Lamar threw to Flowers for a jump ball and proved we need taller wide receivers. Not taller wide receivers. One of them, I think, it was right there. He just couldn't haul it in. We just need those guys that can make those catches. They don't have to be
Making
6'5".
contested catches is a skill. That's
Yeah,
why, like, I swear to God, man, like y'all don't remember Steve Smith? He wasn't tall.
right. He played big, but he wasn't
Right.
big.
Yeah. You've had tall wide receivers. Where's Miles Boykin at? Bring him back if that's what you want.
Yeah, not that guy. Not like that though. Not like that.
Yeah, not like that. Yeah. You need tall players, just not like that. No, you need good players. You need players that have that particular skill.
When we say let's trade for one, oh well, no, we don't want to pay for one either. Guys, you get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens, I don't blame you guys. It's Ravens media that has conditioned you to think this way, that wide receivers are overpaid and aren't worth what they're paid. They're, they don't hold up their value. They don't impact the game as much, and you can always find a cheaper one. And the Ravens, their market value, what they have in their mind for a wide receiver, is never what the actual market value is. So
Right.
that's how you always end up with these type of players. And I'm not putting Zay in that category. I think Zay is better than that. But we treat Zay, we talk about Zay like he is Devontae Adams. We talk about Zay like he is Justin Jefferson. He ain't that.
Chris, Miles Boykin is listed at 220. So no.
No, Miles Boykin was a big
He's
boy.
a big dude. That's why they tried to move him to tight end at one point.
Did they?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Not officially, but
But yeah, they woefully undervalue wide receivers, and it comes back to bite them. This is a perfect example of that. Umbrella Vision says Bateman was playing well when I said he was cooking. My bad. It's all good. Oh, okay. It's all good, man. Hey, I appreciate you standing up and raising your hand. I appreciate that. There you go. He says, I'm the guy who said Bateman was cooking. Can I rescind that statement? He was cooking.
Yeah, he had a few good weeks. He's a talented dude.
And I thought he started out that way in this game. He had a nice catch early on. I said,
catch.
yeah, I was like, okay. Yeah, he's gonna stack on top of his weeks. That's what we've been waiting to see.
And honestly, I wouldn't even be bringing him up really if it wasn't for the other drop. Because sun gets in people's eyes. That happens. One of their receivers lost the ball completely in the sun. I think it was Tillman lost the ball completely in the sun where he was open. He just stopped running. Like
Yeah.
it happens from time to time, but he caught another pass and then just tossed it up in the air for no apparent reason.
He did. That's right. It almost got picked. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
That was on third down. We needed that one. Zico Kage, what's going on? Says fire John Harbaugh. I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Chris, this is the entire point. He says Miles was getting jammed by 5'9" DBs and he played small. That's the point. Size isn't, it's not what you're looking for. It is the skill that you need. Size is not a skill. Sometimes big receivers play small. Sometimes small receivers play big. You need to find a guy who can make contested catches. It's not about their height.
And guess what? When you find those guys, you have to pay them.
Yeah.
We had a golden opportunity to get one of those guys, and people are like, oh, can't afford him. Oh, he's not worth it. Yeah, he is. It costs money. Right? And if we're not going to go that route, you better be right about the guys that you draft.
And you have a history of being wrong about the guys you draft.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that you never drafted a good receiver, because Zay I think is going to be a great receiver. Hollywood's a good receiver, even that was the wrong pick, because there are 5 other receivers better than Hollywood in that draft.
Yeah, and there's another point by Killer Cam. Bateman 6'2".
Yeah,
he's tall enough, but you don't see him as that type of player
because he's not.
Those guys, they're a different level of wide receivers. We don't have that on the team. If we want to get one, it costs. And don't worry about the money. I bet you if we didn't pay Marcus Williams $70 million, we could afford one.
You could afford him now.
Yeah.
But they just don't. It's a choice that they make. They could have traded for Devontae Adams. No problem.
Yeah. Captain Gamer says, one thing I don't get, why were the DBs 10 yards back when the Browns needed short yards on their second to last drive? Yeah, we just talked about that.
Remember a couple of weeks ago when I said that it was a good thing that you brought in Dean Pease to help advise Zach Orr because of the experience? I'm sorry.
Yeah, my bad. They didn't call him passive Pease for nothing.
Right.
All right. Likely is basically a separation wide receiver. Likely is playing really well. He moves really well for a tight end.
He does.
Yeah. Orr is why. Yeah, look, Zach Orr is not doing a good job.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's on the head coach. If Zach Orr just can't get better, what are you gonna do? Just gonna let it ride? Because that's the Ravens' way? Or are you gonna say, hey Zach, man, you got to step down? Okay, you brought in Dean Pease to help out. You brought the wrong person.
You brought the available person.
Yeah. Yeah. But something has, and I can't even fully blame Zach Orr if you're benching one of his better players. Well, not one of his better. Yes, typically one of his better players. Marcus Williams typically is a better player than what we've seen. That's why I can't wrap my mind around letting Eddie Jackson play all game like that. I need to know. I don't accept that response from John Harbaugh of we'll keep it in house. No, we need to know why Marcus Williams isn't playing.
Yeah.
A healthy scratch, that can't happen. I don't care how he's looked all year. He's not that bad. Roquan ain't looking good either. You're not going to bench Roquan. These are good players. Something's going on with them. I don't if they're hurt. I obviously the scheme isn't great, but these are good players typically. You don't just bench them. And you see the difference. You see the difference between Marcus Williams and Eddie Jackson. There's a clear difference today. And you just let it ride. Eddie Jackson been giving up plays all game. No surprise he gave up that touchdown at the end of the game. Flat-footed. Not even ready. It's like he didn't even hear the hike.
So it reminded me of one of Mike McDonald's early games when they were playing Miami, and you had Jalen Armour Davis I believe it was, or him or Pepe Williams, out there covering Tyreek Hill, and they were flat-footed until Tyreek ran by him because Tyreek's running at him, a fourth or fifth round rookie, and he says, "No way, that's my guy.
John,
No way, they got me covering Tyreek on this play."
John, I'm not even going to read the rest of this because I can stop you at the first sentence. He says not only a defensive issue. I said it wasn't. Yes, it's not only a defensive issue. You're right. You're right, John. You're right. It says you still have games where you don't run the ball enough. The defense did give offense the ball in the red zone with the turnover. Yeah, and they scored. They scored on that turnover. They needed more turnovers. Zach Orr just talked about this during one of the pressers this week. He just talked about how they need to focus on getting the ball back for their offense. Did they do that today? No. They did the one time, and when they did that, they immediately turned it into points.
Baby steps. They put themselves in position to do it multiple times.
Yeah.
So they're gonna turn those to catches next week.
AZ Stunner says we should have hired Rex back. No, he can stay on TV. Rock, what's going on? Says what happened to Marlette.
What's up, Rock?
He just came back.
Yeah, he was out there. He's doing his thing.
Yeah. This is on EDC for failing to realize Geno Stone was more impactful than Williams. Now we're suffering with Eddie's atrocious play.
All right. I don't think they're loving Geno over in Cincinnati either.
I think Zach Orr is not doing a good job right now. He's new. He's young. He's not doing a great job. He needs to make better adjustments. And it's a little bit, it's a lot of that, and it's a little bit of the players need to step up too, because being out of position, that's on the coach. Missing tackles, dropping interceptions, that's on the player. And also motivating them too. The right coach can set the tone for the team, you know, and they're just not doing that. Sally would have been a good hire at DC. Mm-hmm. You know, that's somebody you can bring in right now.
Not anymore.
Where'd he go?
He is an advisor. I believe it. I want to not San Francisco, but somewhere else where he's, you know, with a coach that he's familiar with. They just brought him in.
Yeah. A.O. Fonz, what's going on? Says EDC and Harbaugh have the "we have enough" mentality, while teams with Hall of Fame QB say we always need more. That's a fact.
Thank you, Jeremy and Abraham. They say he's in Green Bay.
Green Bay. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
A.O. Fonz, this is absolutely true. Is that we have enough, we like our guys mentality. And that comes from Harbaugh. Harbaugh just not wanting to be told what he should do, not wanting to be told that he's doing something wrong. He always wants to think he knows more than somebody. That's why he's so smug in a lot of these interviews, right? Because he's just like, well, who are you? You don't know football.
Mm-hmm.
I know football. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to do it my way, and I don't have to answer to you.
What's up, Dre?
What's good, Dre? Salute to Mr. Galloway. Make sure you subscribe over to his channel. Ravens All Day says, our defense can't stop nobody. They don't even look comfortable right now. They look confused and lost. And why would you put DH in Wildcat? Oh, my God. Yes.
Why indeed?
Why? Bad coaching. Cliff Kingsbury will have Lamar dominating. Yeah, he's doing good with Jane Daniels so far.
But also Lamar is dominating, so
yeah, he's a front runner for MVP. I don't put a lot on Tom Monken. He had a stupid play with that trick play. I think Tom Monken is doing a fairly good job, to be honest. It's a tough task to have the offense running the way they've been running these last few weeks with the O-line that's that bad. People forget that the O-line is that bad. They got reminded today, but they are a bad O-line.
Yeah. You know who else is bad? Carolina.
What's the score?
Well, it's 14-7 now. They're losing. It's
Oh,
just like,
how's Bryce looking?
so far, I haven't been able to actually watch a lot of it, but 10 for 12, 58 yards with a touchdown. So, like, this is kind of what I thought they might be doing. Kind of put him out there, throw a lot of short passes, complete them, try and move the ball that way, and, try to rebuild his stock a little bit and try and
Yeah.
move him before the deadline.
Okay. Or keep him.
The
Lamar.
Trib one says, nope, today we put it on Todd. Derek got 11 carries in a close game. That's unacceptable. Trib, Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator in the AFC Championship when you didn't run the ball at all, right? Prior to that, you had who was the previous? Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator in the playoffs a couple years when you didn't run the ball at all. Prior to that, Marty Morningweg was the offensive coordinator when you went to the playoffs and didn't run the ball at all. Do you honestly think it's Todd Monken saying don't give Derek the ball?
Right. And also, one of the weaknesses of Derrick Henry is when we need to pass, he can't really be in the game.
Yeah.
You know, like when we're down and we need to move the ball, then that like they're not going to put him out there. Now, yeah, you could argue some of those drives we didn't need to run, but nothing was working. They couldn't protect him, right? Like they tried a couple times. He was getting blown up in the backfield. Valele wasn't, he wasn't going to create a hole for him, so they had to switch it up. It's not an easy task. John says, "Why can't he be in the game?" No, that's why, John. Because on passing downs, because he's not a great catcher. You know, when we get behind, we have to get some points on the board. We don't have 7 minutes to run off the clock. He just can't be out there. He's limited in that sense, which is
Like,
fine.
yeah,
But that's what it is.
he's okay, but that's not his strong suit.
Yeah, yeah. All right, couple more, and we're gonna get out of here. We got about 170 people in here. Salute to y'all, man. Y'all really like to show out when we lose. When we win, if we would have done what we were supposed to do today, maybe 100 people will be in here. But it got to almost 200 at one point, and you guys want to get it off your chest. Oh my goodness! Says they would be kicking to win versus needing a touchdown.
Talking about if they
Yeah.
took the 3 points before.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't mind them going for it. That's not the problem. It's the play call that I have a problem with. If they just lined up and just ran Derrick Henry like a regular play, we probably get it. Or just call a play like you normally would call. They probably get a touchdown there. They were just getting too cute, and they got cute because it's the Browns, right? When that play happened, nobody was sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, this is going to change things." You thought Browns ain't going to do nothing. They're going to get the ball right back to us. It's Jameis. That's what Jameis does, Mister 30 for 30, right? And he tried to be that today. we said no. Is Tucker washed? Not washed. He's a normal kicker now.
Yeah.
He's older. He can't go out there and boot those 60-yarders. I'm not sure how long the one he missed was, but
50.
yeah, I mean he should have made it. He just missed it. He's gonna make some. He's gonna miss some. That's just what he is now, and I'm okay with that. That shouldn't determine whether we win or lose. If we're sitting here thinking we're gonna lose because Tucker missed a kick, fire everybody. That's not what we should be relying on. A kicker in his 15th or 16th year.
Right.
How many pass catching touchdowns does Henry have? Not very versed in Derrick Henry. I think 2.
Yeah, he has 2. He has 5 for his career. And for his career, he averages 12.1 receiving yards per game. It's not really a part of his game.
Yeah.
Not saying that, again, not that he's terrible at it, but it's just,
Kenneth says, I don't think Keaton could have helped today. Nobody could have helped today the way Harbaugh coaches these games. This is what we do. This is what we do. Next week, who do we play next week? I'm not sure who's on the schedule for next week.
For you guys, I do not know. Let me see.
Put it in the chat. Who do we play next week, guys? I guarantee you we don't look like this. If it's a good team. What's going on, Hendo?
Y'all got
Noches.
Denver next week. Denver, then Cincinnati, then Pittsburgh.
We beat down the Broncos.
They should.
The Broncos are a tough defense, but I bet you we beat them down because we had this game. Right? I don't think Harbaugh can afford to have any more back-to-back losses the way he started out the season. So, yeah, we'll play a lot better, especially when people are going to ask about Marcus Williams because of what Eddie Jackson did today. They're going to ask why he wasn't in the game, and he's going to get that question all week, and he's going to give a smug answer, and he's going to get called out for it, like he should.
See, this is what we talk about a lot with Ravens fans. Tell them to watch other teams, right? Watch other games, because I see everybody in here talking about, oh, Bo Nix gonna go for 500 yards. Bo Brady gonna get a contract extension after he plays our defense. Stop disrespecting the Panthers defense. All right, right now, Bo Nix in the first half is 18 for 23 with 207 yards and 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Okay. He's getting that extension today. He's getting that extension long before he runs into Eddie Jackson.
Yeah, Zach Orr's defense is just trash. Press Start says Eddie Jackson will be watching LBHT next week, as he should be.
Hopefully, he should be watching them already, right?
Yeah, he should be watching right now. EDC should be watching too, and Harbaugh. Okay. In fact, you guys, when you tweet at him and you see him out and about, you tell him, hey, you guys should watch Lunch Break Hot Take. You can learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
Kenneth says we don't beat Denver the way we play today. How the hell did a 1-16 beat us? Because they're 1-6, and because John Harbaugh doesn't get his team prepared week in and week out.
But also, to be fair, they're not 1-6 with Jameis Winston.
True. That is true. And I did say that they'll play better without Deshaun Watson.
It's the first time they scored 20 points this season. Yuck. Deshaun Watson is robbing them worse than any athlete I have ever seen.
By the way, Zach Orr, because I hear a lot of Zach Orr. I don't hear enough EDC smoke. I don't hear enough of that. What is EDC's job, guys? Does he not have any say in the coaching staff? Does he not get a say and say, look, Harbaugh, I know you want Zach Orr to get the job. I don't think he's ready. We need to go another route.
Yeah.
I thought he was a general manager.
Mm-hmm.
Does he not have control over the personnel? You know, I believe he's the one that gave Marcus Williams a $70 million deal. I believe he's the one that gave Roquan a $100 million deal.
Yeah,
that was him, right?
I will say though that it kind of that kind of stuff does depend on the dynamic in the organization. Because I remember when Dave Gettleman was coaching in Carolina with Ron, or he was the GM in Carolina when Ron Rivera was head coach. He said after the fact that he had wanted to fire the offensive coordinator Mike Shula, but he wasn't going to step on Ron Rivera's toes and make moves on his staff, right? So I think in theory, yeah, he can fire whoever he wants on that staff, but I think a lot of GMs don't really like to interfere in that way.
I understand. I understand that. But we're trying to win a Super Bowl now. Mm-hmm. Harbaugh is coming off of not his best game coaching, and we're looking to fill some big shoes from a defensive coordinator that was great. You have to be right about somebody like Zach Orr. And you got to have some contingency plans in place, right? Like you lost a lot of people on that staff. Like bringing in an advisor, you know, midway or not midway, but like during the season when the season starts because things aren't going well, it's a bad look. You should have had that guy on staff already. Hey,
Yeah.
we're going with a young guy, but here's what we'll do: we're going to bring somebody else in to kind of help guide you.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, come more, and we are out of here. Horace Comegna, okay, says John Harbaugh had his team resting on their laurels again and playing down to inferior competition. That's exactly what he does. Yep. Bashadi should be putting his foot in someone's butt. Hasn't done it. Yeah. True. True. Yeah. EDC sits on his butt. EDC has drafted a lot of busts. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Look at this, man. I forgot that Kansas City was even playing today. They're up 17-10 on the Raiders at halftime. And DeAndre Hopkins, not doing a whole lot. He's got 2 catches for 29 yards on 3 targets. But all of a sudden, Travis Kelce's come alive with 7 catches for 61 yards and a touchdown in the first half.
Mm. How do
So
you
that's
bring
nice.
in a DC that we fired to advise a rookie DC that hasn't coached on any level?
That's a good question. but to be fair, almost every DC that's available to do that right now is somebody who has been fired from their job. Right?
But
Otherwise,
can you
they
get
will.
somebody that's fine as
Otherwise,
a head
they'll be.
coach?
Otherwise, they'll be coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's about working with people that you know, right? And
Mhm.
Harbaugh don't Harbaugh's friends aren't good, right? They're not good.
Why? Why do you think about this daily, Ravenflock? He says that Xavier Leggett was right there. Why do you think about that daily? He's not. He's not exactly showing out in Carolina.
He's not the worst GM on planet Earth. NBT
No,
Sports.
no, no, NDT. That's Rob Palinka, and you know it. Stop it.
He's talking about football. He's not talking about
He
basketball.
said planet Earth. Once again, I will remind you that there are other sports being played on Earth besides NFL football. Okay.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna wrap this up. Did Coach start his calling show?
They are live, yes.
All right. I need you guys to head over to Sip to Tally Films. All right. Coach is doing a live stream right now. He's doing a call-in show. If you want to get it off your chest, hit up his link is in the description. Sip to Tally. Click on that one. There's a bunch of links in there, but that's his link. Go on over there, get it off your chest, or listen to people get it off their chest. And then tomorrow, the Ravens Roundup is back. Okay, on Coach's channel, we're going to break this down even more. Okay, we're gonna vent about it, and come back here on Wednesday for the LBHT show, which starts at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. All right. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button on your way out. Turn on that notification bell. All right. And you want more of us, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/LBHT show. Right. For as little as $5 a month, you can get access to our overtime shows. You can get access to our Discord, which is a lot of fun. And we got all kinds of other goodies like this LBHT Crew coin, right? That's for $10 though, not $5. Okay, $10 tier. But yeah, go over there, check it out. Check out our website. Sign up for our newsletter. We'll get on the waiting list for the newsletter. It's not out yet, but go over to our website lbhtshow.com. All right, wait for that box to pop up. Put your email address in there, and we will notify you when the newsletter is out. But all right,
Bryce Young is standing there. They just went to halftime.
yeah,
Bryce Young is standing there, high fiving every player as they go into the locker room, trying to pump everybody up, right? You're down 21-7. He's trying to, keep their head up and everything. And I'm just like, man, I badly want for him to turn it around and be good. Even if it's not in Carolina. Like, I feel bad that he ended up in Carolina. And I'm just going to assume Carolina derailed him. And he was going to be fine elsewhere. But he seems like such a good dude.
yeah.
They get their ass kicked, though.
Gagan S says Browns lost the number one wide receiver and still had a better wide receiver core. So I'm gonna ask y'all again before we get out of here. Trade deadline: wide receiver or edge or safety? Okay, which one's more important? With that in mind, of how bad our wide receivers look today, when the defense clamped down on them a little bit.
Kenneth says, "Who wants to watch them whine?" Who are you talking about, Kenneth?
Watch who won.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
He says, let's hope Pease can do better than Orr. Well, Pease isn't going to be the defensive coordinator as far as I know. He's just there to advise. So I doubt they demote Zach Orr during the season. Can I choose all three? You know you can't choose all three. Now I'm Baltimore. And we don't need to choose all three. Put Marcus Williams back in the game. Right? They're playing bad. He's playing bad. Not playing that bad. Okay. Oh, he's talking about the Ravens. To the Ravens. Okay.
I think it's kind of funny. But I understand that's probably not a opinion that's shared widely in the
Dean Pease is 74.
It's good for him, man. And to still be out there getting it done.
Yep, they'll blame this all on Zach Orr. They're trying to. I'm not letting EDC and John Harbaugh off the hook. We got to stop doing this. It's always the coordinator's fault. It's never the head coach and GM.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. That's why Harbaugh is on the thumbnail. EDC gonna be on the thumbnail on Wednesday, most likely. All right. Give them the proper smoke they deserve. All right, y'all. We out of here. Still over 100 people in here. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button. Come back here on Wednesday for the LBHT show. B, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Thank y'all for joining us. Hey, ugly game. Not surprised, but we'll do better next week. All right, y'all. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you on Wednesday. Peace.